These are four of the highest ranked camera smartphones in the world. So today we'll be comparing the iPhone 15 Pro Max, Pixel 8 Pro, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and Xiaomi 13 Ultra in this extremely detailed smartphone camera comparison where we will be testing out day and night photos and videos. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is kitted with a 48 megapixel main camera and three 12 megapixel sensors for the ultra-wide, periscope, and selfie camera. The Pixel 8 Pro packs in a 50 megapixel main sensor, two 48 megapixel cameras for the ultra-wide and periscope, and a 10.5 megapixel selfie sensor. The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra houses a crazy 200 megapixel main camera, two 10 megapixel sensors for the telephoto and periscope, and two 12 megapixel cameras for the ultra-wide and selfie sensor. And lastly, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra makes use of a quad 50 megapixel setup consisting of a massive 1-inch type main sensor, an ultra-wide, a telephoto, and a periscope, as well as a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Does Apple's latest iPhone have what it takes? Will Google's advanced AI put the Pixel in first place? Does Samsung's 200 megapixel count perfect the scene? Or will Xiaomi's massive 1-inch sensor reign supreme? This is TechNick, and without further ado, let's find out. What's up guys, this is TechNick recording a selfie video on four of the best camera smartphones that 2023 has to offer. All of them can record selfie video at 4K 60 FPS except for the Xiaomi, which is limited to just 1080p and 60 frames per second. Let me know your thoughts on which one you think sounds the best in terms of microphone quality and looks the best in terms of video quality. The iPhone and Samsung have the most detailed selfie video, the iPhone is the most stable, and the Xiaomi is too overexposed. The Pixel lacks portrait video and the Xiaomi is capped at Full HD. The iPhone and Samsung both offer 4K portrait selfie video, and while the Samsung is a bit too sharp, it no doubt comes out the best. Taking ultra-wide selfies has the Samsung underexposed, the Xiaomi overexposed, leaving the iPhone and Pixel looking the best, with the iPhone offering slightly more balance and detail. The Pixel is the only device here that offers proper ultra-wide selfie portrait mode, but it trails behind the iPhone when taking a selfie at 1x. And the same can be said when taking a selfie portrait at the same focal length. Moving on to the back cameras, using their respective periscopes without portrait mode enabled, the iPhone, Pixel, and Xiaomi make use of 5x optical zoom, with the Xiaomi taking the lead, while the Samsung can reach 10x. The Samsung and Xiaomi are the only ones with a second telephoto camera at 3x optical zoom, which makes more sense when taking a photo of a human subject, with the Samsung looking more natural. The Pixel is the only one which cannot use its telephoto camera in portrait mode. The iPhone utilizes 5x zoom here and looks sharp, while the Samsung once again takes the lead due to Xiaomi's overexposure. The Samsung lacks depth when using its main camera in portrait mode. The Pixel can only shoot at 1.5x here, leaving the iPhone with the most balance but the Xiaomi with the best depth of field. Without using portrait mode, the Samsung offers the best white balance and the Xiaomi the most natural background blur due to its large sensor size. This shot was recently put up on my YouTube community page as a poll, where most of you voted for image B, which is actually the Pixel. And while I must say it looks the best from a distance due to the sun peeking through the clouds, it actually came out the most underexposed and sharpened things up a tad too much for my liking. The Pixel again looks too sharp when taking a snap of an object, with the iPhone taking the lead in terms of dynamic range and the most natural looking sky. However, when taking the same photo using their periscopes, the Pixel comes out looking the best in terms of detail, depth, and tonal range, offering the most natural color. But Samsung and Xiaomi once again make better use of this scene due to their second telephoto cameras for a 3x optically zoomed shot. However, the Samsung adds a bit too much tint and the Xiaomi is a tad too oversaturated. The good news for Xiaomi is that the 13 Ultra is the only one here that sticks to its telephoto sensor when taking close-up zoomed shots. Taking a photo with their mains at their maximum megapixel counts has the iPhone and Xiaomi look the cleanest, and this is evident when cropping in by 400%. However, Samsung takes the lead in detail here, especially when you focus on the yellow string leaves, but not when you look at the bottom tree bark. Taking another native shot, but this time of a statue, has the Xiaomi outshining the rest. But when cropping in, the Pixel offers the best sharp details, while the Samsung offers the best soft details. When taking a snap of me at their high megapixel counts, the Xiaomi offers great natural depth due to that large sensor, but the Pixel produced arguably the best shot here, and the Pixel truly shows what it's capable of when cropping into my face. Back to binned photos using their mains. This pic of me was taken while walking in order to test out shutter speed to see which keeps moving objects more in focus. The Xiaomi is the only one with a dedicated mode for this, known as Fast Shot, but honestly all of them manage to keep everything perfectly in focus. When you get close enough to an object, all of them automatically kick to their ultra-wide sensors for macro mode. And when you take a look at the pollen inside this flower, it's obvious that the Samsung comes out the most detailed. Taking a regular ultra-wide shot, the Pixel and Xiaomi are the only ones with a high megapixel count, with the option for pixel binning offering more balanced shots. And while the Xiaomi offers the widest field of view, it suffers from oversaturation. The Samsung oversaturated the sky even more and even changed the color of the street, leaving the Pixel with the most well-balanced ultra-wide photo. Taking bin shots with their main cameras of the same scene has the iPhone looking a tad dull and the Samsung and Xiaomi too saturated with higher contrast. The Pixel once again shows its strength here. They all offer 2x lossless zoom when using their mains. The Pixel looks fantastic but tends to over-sharpen a bit too much, leaving the Samsung looking the best, especially if you take a look at the flowers at the bottom of the photo. The Samsung and Xiaomi kick in their first telephoto cameras at 3x zoom, and while I must say the Pixel's digital zoom at this range looks incredible, the Xiaomi still comes out on top in terms of detail. The iPhone, Pixel and Xiaomi kick in their periscopes for 5x optical zoom, while the Samsung makes use of hybrid zoom, which actually looks pretty impressive, especially in terms of lighting. However, the Pixel takes the lead in terms of balance, color and detail, with the Xiaomi not too far off. The Samsung's periscope is used for 10x optical zoom, while the rest of them utilize lossless zoom at this range. The iPhone is a tad grainy here and the Pixel a bit washed out. The Samsung has good balance, but strangely enough, the Xiaomi packs in more detail, better shadows and offers superior exposure compensation. 25x is the max zoom for the iPhone and suffers from the most noise grain. 30x is the max for the Pixel and is actually less noisy than the Xiaomi, but not quite as detailed as the Samsung. The same can be said at 50x digital zoom, with the Samsung coming out on top. 100x is the max zoom range for the Samsung, and it once again comes out looking better than the Xiaomi, but the Xiaomi can go even further at 120x, however it still struggles with grain. Moving on to video, they can all shoot 4K 60fps optically zoomed periscope videos, but the Pixel takes the lead in terms of detail. The Samsung and Xiaomi can also drop down to 3x optical video, with the Samsung coming out slightly better, but the Xiaomi takes things to another level since it offers 8K video across all of its sensors. The Samsung can also shoot 8K video but only using its main camera, which results in better balance when compared to the Xiaomi. They can of course all shoot 4K 60fps main video, but the iPhone, as always, takes the win here due to impeccable detail and fantastic dynamic range. Recording 4K video of me has the Xiaomi suffer from tonal range, the Pixel looking a bit too smooth, and even though the iPhone is a bit underexposed, it still proves to be the best. And it's a similar situation when recording portrait video, since only the iPhone and Samsung can record portrait video at 4K, but the Samsung misses the mark in terms of edge detection. The Pixel and iPhone lack telephoto portrait video, which leaves the Xiaomi looking a lot better than the Samsung. And when comparing the Samsung and Xiaomi without portrait mode, the Xiaomi once again comes out swinging. But when recording regular periscope video, the Pixel looks absolutely incredible. They can all shoot 1080p slow motion video, but while the iPhone and Pixel are limited to 240fps, the Xiaomi can go all the way up to 1920fps, and the Samsung not far behind at 960fps, which looks quite a bit better in terms of detail. And when it comes to focusing speed, the Pixel and Xiaomi are no doubt the fastest. But when it comes to standard stability using their mains, the Pixel seriously disappointed me here, while the iPhone and Samsung proved to be slightly more stable than the Xiaomi. The Pixel lacks a stability mode when using the main cam, the Xiaomi steady video mode is capped at 1080p, and the iPhone and Samsung look the best with the highest resolution and FPS stability modes. The Pixel can utilize active mode when using the ultra-wide cam, but it's capped at 1080p, leaving the iPhone and Samsung once again on top. And when using standard stability with their ultra-wides, they all come out equally as stable at 4K 60 frames per second. The Samsung has the lowest field of view when recording with its ultra-wide camera, but it's on par with the iPhone in terms of detail. But just like we saw with other sensors, the Xiaomi is the only one that can record 8K ultra-wide video and seriously steps up detail. And when recording ultra-wide video at night, the Xiaomi still does a decent job at 8K. But for some reason, ultra-wide video doesn't get any brighter on the the Xiaomi when switching to 4K. The Samsung and Pixel are the brightest here, but the iPhone controls light the best. The Xiaomi is the only one with a night video mode, but it's limited to the main camera. Needless to say, it comes out the brightest and looks arguably the best, but the iPhone still handles light noise better. The Samsung and Xiaomi are once again the only ones that can shoot 8K video with their mains, but unlike day video, the Xiaomi takes a slight edge here. The Xiaomi can of course also record 8K video with its telephoto camera and packs in plenty of detail even at night. The Xiaomi also does a fantastic job recording 4K telephoto video at night, but the iPhone's periscope video comes out with a slight lead. Recording 4K telephoto video of me at night has me question whether the iPhone and Pixel are even using their periscope sensors, while the Xiaomi looks significantly better than the Samsung. And the same can be said when comparing telephoto portrait video between the Xiaomi and Samsung. The iPhone looks the best when recording main portrait video at night, but the Xiaomi isn't far off even though it's limited to just 1080p resolution. And even though the Pixel impressed me quite a bit when not in portrait mode, the iPhone and Xiaomi still came out looking cleaner. Moving on to photos at night, taking a snap of me using their mains has me favoring the Xiaomi due to its impeccable white balance and superb light noise handling. The Xiaomi still looks the best in portrait mode, though background blur is a bit too harsh. The Samsung doesn't blur the background at all, and the iPhone has great balance but is too sharpened, while the Pixel can only shoot 1.5 times portrait photos and is a bit underexposed. Taking a periscope portrait mode photo has the iPhone looking the worst and the Pixel struggling with edge detection due to digital zoom, while the Samsung looks quite a bit better than the Xiaomi. But when disabling portrait mode, they all look a tad better. The iPhone is the most detailed but battles with tonal range, while the Pixel has a nice overall balance. The same can be said when taking a telephoto pic of an object at night, with the iPhone packing in the most detail and the Pixel the most color accuracy. The Samsung, however, controls the lighting in the background the best. Taking the same photo but using their mains now has the Xiaomi control light better and match the iPhone's detail while maintaining accurate colors. Taking a night photo using their mains of a scene with more character has me once again favoring the Xiaomi due to detail, highlights, color, and white balance, as someone commented in my recent YouTube community post poll, and I couldn't agree more. Most of you voted option D, and yes, option D is the Xiaomi. And no, this is not my car. In this next shot, the Xiaomi again shows how brilliant that 1-inch type sensor truly is, leading to a very well balanced, detailed photo with great light noise handling. The only thing the Xiaomi falls short of here is detail found within the light grey area of the horse, which is probably due to an increase in auto ISO levels. I took this shot purely to see how well they all handle light noise, and the Pixel handles light coming from the floodlight the worst. The iPhone completely changes the color and isn't much better than the Pixel, while the Samsung and Xiaomi handle this light the best. Looking at the image as a whole once again has me leaning toward the Xiaomi, though the Pixel isn't far off if you can ignore that floodlight. The Xiaomi also comes out the most balanced when using the ultra-wide camera, and while the Samsung handles light noise better here, its overall photo looks rather bad. The Xiaomi once again takes an incredible photo using the main camera at night, but the Samsung is the only one here that doesn't suffer from lens flare, as you can see when looking at the sky. And just like during the day, I was rather happy with the Pixel at 2x lossless zoom, but the Samsung still has the upper hand in terms of light noise and lack of lens flare. The Samsung and Xiaomi once again make use of their first telephoto cameras at 3x zoom, with the Xiaomi coming out on top in terms of detail and dynamic range, but still has the worst lens flare. The iPhone, Pixel, and Xiaomi use their periscopes for a 5x optical zoom here, while the Samsung once again uses hybrid zoom. At night though, the Samsung is rather lackluster and the Pixel is very off. The Xiaomi doesn't handle light too well at this level, leaving the iPhone as the clear winner. The Samsung uses its periscope for 10x optical zoom, and even though the Xiaomi is using in-sensor zoom at this range, it was quite hard to choose between the two. 25x is again the max zoom for the iPhone, and it once again suffers from the most noise grained. It seems the Pixel has the upper hand at this range. 30x is the max for the Pixel, which is a shame since it actually outperforms both the Samsung and the Xiaomi at this focal length. At 50x, the Samsung has less noise grain when compared to the Xiaomi, but the Xiaomi packs in more detail. The same can be said at 100x digital zoom, which is where the Samsung caps off, and while the Xiaomi can go up to 120x zoom, it doesn't do it much justice. Taking ultra-wide selfies at night has the Samsung come out on top, and the same can be said for ultra-wide portrait shots. But it completely changes tonal range when the flash is on, leaning me more toward the Pixel. Setting them all to 1x at night once again has the Samsung take the lead, which is a similar case when portrait mode is enabled. And just like when the flash was enabled with their ultra-wides, the Pixel looks better here at 1x as well. None of them look good when taking selfie portrait videos at night, but if I had to choose, it would likely be the Xiaomi as it comes out the cleanest. The Pixel would have been my pick here, but it unfortunately lacks selfie portrait video. I thought we'd end things the same way we started, so this is what selfie video looks like at night on all 4 devices. Let me know your thoughts of their video and microphone quality in the comment section down below. So now it's time to get to the results based on my personal and professional opinion, and since our opinions may differ, be sure to let me know if you agree with my findings. As expected, I feel the iPhone 15 Pro Max has the best video when using the main camera and is the most consistent when it comes to day photos and videos. It also produces fantastic results with its periscope sensor, but unfortunately 5x optical zoom is a bit too much of a stretch when taking portrait photos. Speaking of periscope sensors, the Pixel 8 Pro has arguably the best one. However, just like the iPhone, the Pixel's periscope also only kicks in at 5x zoom, which is only practical for far zoomed shots. Its main camera is fantastic even when cropping in, and the cherry on top is that it offers the fastest focusing of the lot. The Galaxy S23 Ultra is still very impressive even though it's been out for almost a year and still takes arguably the best high zoom photos during the day or at night thanks to it having 3x and 10x telephoto cameras. And there's no denying how far Samsung have come in terms of video stability. But I feel that the Xiaomi 13 Ultra is the most flexible of them all. Yes, the Samsung may have a 10x periscope sensor, but the Xiaomi still has fantastic in-sensor zoom at 10x and makes use of 2 other optical levels, that being 3.2x and 5x. That lower zoom telephoto sensor on the Xiaomi is what seems to be missing on the iPhone and Pixel. And to round things off, the Xiaomi proves time and time again that having a large 1-inch type main sensor does indeed make a difference. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed testing out some of the highest rated camera smartphones on the planet. Let me know your thoughts on these results in the comment section down below. This is TechNick and I'll catch you in the next one.